Hi everybody, here's a way to always stay on top of the market and know what's happening in the bigger picture, no matter what time frame you're trading. You want as much information about the market as you can, all the way from monthly down to the 1 minute chart. There's no point in ignoring information, it's right there, this is a business, use it all. So start on the monthly chart, draw your supply and demand zones. We have a demand zone down here on the monthly. So I'm using blue lines for this. I always use blue for demand. You see we have a dotted line here just to show you that this is the inner side of demand. I have it dotted because I'm happy for price to come through into the demand level. I have a full line here at the outside of demand because once that's broken, it's broken, and that's demand broken. So I want to give these names just so that later on these will be on every chart that we have, so it's important to name your lines. This one we call MTHD, monthly demand. I have a space between the H and the D here because it's a dotted line, so we'll have a space there. We can't have two names the same line, or two lines the same name, so this is also a monthly demand. So I call it MTHD with no space. Now they're both monthly demand, but they've both got different names. Now here we have our monthly supply. It's called MTH space S. Here's the top of monthly supply, MTHS. What else is on the chart? Well, we have a point of interest here. We have a spike down, so we'll just make this blue and call it MTH space F, monthly flip. If price ever gets to there, that's something we'll want to know about. It's already had a lot of history around here, so it is an important line. Now, these are going to be visible, all these lines here are going to be visible in every time frame. We see visualization showing all time frames, so that's going to be there from the monthly all the way down to the M1 chart. Now, you'll want to know ultimately when price gets to this level. What I use is an indicator called Alerter for You. It's excellent. It alerts you when a trend line is being hit, it alerts you when a fib is being hit, anything that you draw on the chart, this will alert you when it's hit. It'll give you a pop-up display and it'll give you a bell as well. So you'll never miss a line that you've drawn. It's always there. We also want to see what's happening in this. What's the price action here? Well, okay, we've come from demand over here, and we've come up into supply, and maybe we're flagging here. Usually, if you're coming out of supply, you'll be thinking about going short, but we're not sure here. There is a possibility of a monthly bull flag, so we want to write down on a text label, monthly possible bull flag. So this I have in a lightish blue, saying there's possibilities of buys here. It's not in strong blue, it's not in deep blue, because it's only possibility for buys here. We're not quite sure. So that is there, no matter what time frame you go into, all these are going to be up here because they are, as I say, in text labels. They won't move from the screen. So back to monthly again. We have all the information we need here. We have our alerter set up for when any of these zones are entered. As I say, each of these are on every time frame. Now we go down to weekly. In weekly, we have our monthly lines there already, but we want to set up our weekly supply and demand. So here we've got our weekly supply, W1S. It's also on alert as well. And we have the top of W1S there too. So we have our supply there in that zone. Now when these supply lines are broken, let's say you get out of here, you want to go look at your next supply. Your next supply is going to be up here, so you'll simply drag those lines back up to here, and that's your new supply. Also, you want to mark in anything important that you see on any chart and always leave them on the chart. We have a nice compression here, so we know that if price breaks this line, we are nicely compressed up to this zone. So keep your triangles there for compression, they're important. So here, there are more lines on the chart than there were on the last one, because these lines, oh, hold on. In the properties on this one, the visualization, oh, we're on H4, I'm so sorry. Right, we're in weekly. Now, here's our weekly supply. We want to make sure that this is in every time frame except the time frame above it. So it's in up to weekly, it's not in monthly, but it's in every other time frame. The same with the top of weekly supply, the same with weekly demand as well. There's W1 space D, and it is in weekly down as well. Now what's happening here? Well, we've bounced out of demand, we're going towards supply. Here is our, as we can see, it's weekly supply there. On a weekly chart, we really want to go into a weekly supply from a weekly demand. We haven't hit monthly supply yet, so we're thinking about going for longs on this. You do have something of a bull flag here. So in our notes above, we want to have, we haven't got strong buy signals here. So on weekly, we just put in that we've got possibility for buys here. It's not a dark blue, so possible buys here. We have everything marked here, so we'll move on. Down to daily. On daily, we've got our daily supply marked here. This has already been spiked, so I put in D1S spiked. There's the top of this daily supply. If this is broken, we go up to the next one and the next one, deleting these ones. Actually, we'll just be moving these particular lines. There's our daily demand. So these, like everything else, are visible in their own time frame and down. They're not visible in the higher time frames because it would just be too messy in the higher time frames to have all these lines. We have our alerter on for all of these lines as well. So once price goes into these lines, or goes near these lines, we'll get our alerts and we'll know that a zone is being entered. Here we also have a flag forming, so we want to put a note about this. Flags, this could break bullish or could break bearish, so we'll make that green. We're not sure which way that's going to go yet. Now down we go to the next time frame, hour 4. We still have our channel here from the daily, nice and visible. Right, we have H4 supply here. That's the same as everything else, it's only visual in its own time frame and down. There's the top of supply there, H4 space S, all alerted there already. So now you'll see that we've already gone into H4 supply here, so we want to think about shorts here. I've already scalped from here, but that's another story. In H4 supply, we look for daily supply as well to see if we're looking good. There's the outside of daily supply. It'd be really nice to have our H4 inside our daily. So we are thinking about shorts here. We're not thinking about very strong shorts though, because we haven't hit daily supply yet. But we have H4 compression into supply. You don't see the compression here yet until you go down to H1. Well, you actually do. You see that we're spiking down here. So in H1, there's a nice compression there. So we have that marked. Also, we have our H1 supplies marked here and our H1 demands. Did I put in my demands yet? Yes, we have our H1 and M30 demand there. You'll see in M30 that they're sharing the same demand. They're all alerted, they're all marked, they're all good to go. In M30, we've been compressed up into M30 supply. We've also gone into H4 supply and into H1 supply. So we're really looking at strong shorts here. Nice deep red on the M30 here, deep red on the M15, deep red on the M5 as well. So all our information is here. Can you imagine if we were in M5 supply, an M15 supply, an M30 supply, and all of these were red and they were all in deep supply? If that was the case, we would be somewhere beautiful. We would be up here, let's say, if all of those were in red. You know that if you're going to take a short on any of these, that you're not just going to look for the 5-minute supply line to take your profit. You're not even going to look for the 15. If you're in supply in all of these and you've got deep reds on all of these notes, you know you're going to be going to look for monthly supply or monthly demand on a trade like this. So I hope you can see the usefulness of all this. You have a number of different time frames here, and you know what's going on them. Line them all up in the same colour and you've got one hell of a trade.